Hi, and welcome back to Downtime with Dylan on episode 2. Today we have a special guest, Hall Monitor.
Hey guys, it's Hall here. Zach Hall, defensive end for the Philadelphia Liberty and GM for the Myrtle Beach Buccaneers.
And I think moving forward that we'll try to have guests on the show or on the podcast more often than not. And without further ado, I think we're just going to hop into it. There was some extra setup type involved because, I like to fuck things up. All right, hopping right into it. First questions is from Valor. He asked, what was the hardest decision to make as GM of Tijuana and Myrtle Beach alike?
Ooh, that's a...
Yeah, it is a tough one. I think for me personally was probably the draft before this season. So, in case you guys didn't know, SJJ is my real life best friend. We're coworkers. We see each other literally five days a week. So passing on him with my first pick, because I knew he probably wouldn't make it back to 5 or 6, because I had 3 first round picks. I knew he wouldn't make it that far.
No.
Passing on him was kind of hard to do on a personal level, but wide receiver, A, wasn't our biggest need, and 2, we just had to get Slim at quarterback. So our other quarterback was kind of going IA, so he volunteered to switch to receiver for us, and that let us draft Slim. So I think if we don't take Slim at 2, that you guys probably would have took him with your next pick.
Yeah,
maybe.
that was kind of the thing. I know Frost and I, we were really huge on Slim, picking him up as a waiver pickup last season, and having him ball out and beat Portland for us. I mean, Slim was huge in our thing. Which, shout out to DTF. DTF, he has been a stud for us, and we love him more than anything now. But getting SJJ, I mean, as soon as Sweet came on, we knew we had to get him in our locker room. Like, Myrtle Beach has had that reputation of, we have a dead locker room. So getting our boy Sweet, I mean, that rejuvenated everything. It just kind of brought some flavor into the locker room, and he's been nonstop since. And it's been, I'm glad you guys passed on him just because we got to get him.
Yeah, and speaking of the locker room thing, I think before this season, everybody was making the jokes that Myrtle Beach or Palm Beach, whatever the fuck you want to call it, had a dead locker room, this, that, and the other. And I think, after you kind of guys sent out the invite so we could all hop in the lobby and see it. I mean, it's really impressive. I mean, I won't say it's on par with Tijuana, but it could get there.
It's because it's better. All I'm saying is, I don't think you guys have a bot that talks crap about other teams. I don't know if I can cuss on your podcast. I don't know how.
Oh, you can. I don't give a shit. Come on, man. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but I mean, we have a bot that literally says "fuck Portland," "fuck Tijuana." I mean, that's A+ right there, and it's so good that we had a war because Corey, Casey Dream, cornerback from Portland, decided to kill our bot and started a little civil war for about 2 days. So that was a fun little thing that went on. We have Zed, who's basically a Pokemon mastermind who just kind of spends his days in the mines fighting off Eco and Ford as they try to hop in and steal all the Pokemon. And then Sweet, just kind of doing his thing,
Yeah, and it's funny. We've had I guess the dynamic to the Tijuana locker room was so much different than last year. A lot of new faces, a lot of old faces, kind of a good mix. Bringing Kaneko in, she's unique to say the least, but we've been loving having her. Then right before the season, we picked up KC15. That dude's been superb, top-notch teammate, just always in a positive mood and whatnot. And then kind of got Arian Lacker. Arian is kind of like I'm trying to think how to put it. He's this year's Fuzzy for compared to our last year's season. So last year Fuzzy Dotson played fullback and didn't get any stats, but by far whenever Fuzzy was in the fullback position and we were testing, our percentages were killing it. And this year it's kind of an Arian Lacker. We switched to a 3-4 defense, and he's lining up next to Junior Lopez, who's about a 200 TPE linebacker. And,
yeah, he's basically as good as you can get.
Yeah, and so Lacker has been. I mean, we are stacked at defense. It's ridiculous.
You want to stack.
Yeah, I know. And so he hasn't been getting the monster stats, but literally every time I try to move him around, like if I take him out of lineup for any reason or try to move him to somewhere I think might be positioned better, like it tanks our percentages by at least like 4 to 5%. So, and he's been nothing but a great teammate, or team guy. He hasn't complained about it all year. So, yeah, we've got a pretty good locker room. And you want to brag about your bots and stuff, but we don't need bots to say, fuck Myrtle Beach and fuck San Antonio. So, we just got guys that say it.
I mean, the bots make it more fun, when even the robots are fighting against you guys. But I mean, if that's how you guys want to be.
All right, yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the second question from Valor. He says this one's for Hall. What is your reaction to Philadelphia trading for me, Dylan?
Oh my God, that from the time that the War Room and Slim basically said like, Thug Castle is currently on the trade block and we might have a trade lined up. Oh, my eyes were lit up. Like I couldn't hold it in. I was going nuts. Jake was in there going nuts with. I mean, the whole like team was on fire, waiting for this news to happen. And then it came to a point where it was like, well, it might not be happening anymore. And then it was just this weird time of, am I going to get my boy? Like we've been trying to get together since the Prospect Bowl, and
no kidding.
Everything's kept us apart. TH and Scorp didn't like me, so they refused to send me to Tijuana. Then we just couldn't get drafted together. Everything went wrong, and then finally this light of hope came through. And when the news finally broke, I don't care if we gave New Orleans like 13 first-round picks and half our offense. Like I was happy my boy was coming home, and that's all I needed.
Yeah, man, that defense is our defense is gonna be scary here in a couple seasons, man.
Woo! Elite defense. I know Valor sent this question, but Yellowknife better watch out because 2 years from now.
Hey,
defense of the year coming right here.
Hey, Yellowknife's getting old, man.
Oh yeah, Yellowknife is old. They're old news. Old news.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Next question is from the asshole himself, Sweet James Jones.
So weird.
He asked, "Why do you like small children?" And I'm gonna assume that question is for you, Hall.
I'm pretty sure that's for you because I mean you've seen our locker room. We all know who the diddlers are, and it's you and Jake. So I mean, this is a question obviously.
It's only Jake. Jake has. You can't find any evidence on me. Jake has like 5 to 6 screenshots of him saying.
I'm pretty sure we have like 3 pins, and he's only been in Myrtle Beach's locker room for 2 days.
Oh, he's like 3 pins in Myrtle Beach, 2 pins in Philly, at least 1 pin in the Tijuana locker room because technically he's a Tijuana alumni.
Well, I mean, he worked hard for that ring.
Yeah, no kidding. Actually, did he get one on the forums for that? Because I'll be kind of mad if he did.
Oh man, I gotta find out.
I'm looking at it right now. He didn't. But yeah, fuck you, Sweet. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, next question is from the Jake himself, Good versus Evil 1275. He says, for Hall, top 5 active wide receivers in Philly. And what is your favorite cereal?
Do we even have 5 wide receivers in Philly? Well, number one's got to be Nacho, right? Like, I'm not paid to say that, but number 1 has to be Nacho, just because it's Ford.
Yeah.
Number 2, probably Hardwick. Hardwick's been pretty solid for us. Number 3.
I don't know, man.
As much as you guys have been playing Fuzzy at wide receiver, I kind of got to put Fuzzy there. Fuzzy's going to be the wide receiver of the future.
Yeah, I agree. He's this generation's Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, like he's an all-around everything. So I could see him as our 3rd best wide receiver right now. 4, I'd probably put myself, just because if I went back to a tight end, I could see myself being the 4th best receiver on the team. And 5's probably a guy in the DSFL right now. One of these guys that are going through the draft, we might end up stealing one of these and picking up one of these good wide receivers in the draft, and they'd be our 5th best wide receiver.
There's actually there's some pretty good depth at wide receiver this year. Although I do think the Doses and Mimosas are what is it? Jacob Andrews. He went inactive, so that kind of I think his stock is taken.
Doses and Mimosas went inactive?
Yeah, dude. He
man.
left most of the Discords randomly one day. Don't know exactly why, but I have inklings.
Sweet scared him off.
Yeah.
He couldn't take that rivalry with Sweet.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes I can't take the rivalry. I just that dude's like it's like for the viewers out there that are listening right now. I guess not viewers, listeners. Sweet is the human embodiment of like that Family Guy clip. Whenever like Lois is like laying in bed, and then like Stewie is just sitting there going, "Mom, mom, 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 mommy, 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 mama,
Oh,
mama."
man.
That is him in real life. And don't show any weakness, because as soon as he knows he's under your skin, it's over with. Like, your day is ruined.
I can't talk bad about Sweet because I mean we've had a shit season, and my man's been there, and he's been on fire 100%.
Yeah, just wait till you've known him for like 12 years.
All right, so yeah, in season S87, when
there
we
you
get
go.
to season 87, and he's on his 5th recreate, still talking shit to Doses and Mimosas, I'll make sure I'll see if I still like him or not.
Oh man! All right, he also Good versus Evil or Jake. I'm just gonna say Jake. He's got.
Yeah, he's Jake. I don't even know if that's his real name or not, but I've just to the point now he's Jake because Good versus Evil is too fucking long to say.
Yeah,
so Jake's just perfect.
You should. I think it's in the rulebook, Jake. Man, I think you can change your username if you pay a certain amount of money. You should definitely do that.
Yeah, it's $9.99 if you send it to the Myrtle Beach Fund. We're trying to save our team, so if you send us $9.99, you can change your name to something good, like Kid Diddler versus Evil, $12.75.
There you go. All right, but he does ask, what is your favorite cereal?
I'm a basic bitch, so I'm gonna say Reese's Puffs because Reese's Puffs are the best cereal, hands down.
See, I said he asked me this on my last one. I said the Special K fruit and yogurt.
It keeps your cholesterol, helps your cholesterol, you know.
Dude,
gives you a long, strong heart.
Dude, there is nothing like waking up at like 2:30 in the morning for a midnight snack and just fucking making a bowl of that shit. That shit is phenomenal.
I don't know, man, because Reese's Puffs, it's like eating Halloween candy in a bowl of milk. I mean, it's terrible for you, but it tastes so good. I mean, it might be bad, it might be unhealthy, but it tastes amazing.
It looks like horse feed.
I mean, yes, but it turns the milk kind of a chocolatey milk, and that's just heaven.
And then he asked me, DSFL player you hope Slim and Ford draft. Well,
we have a whole one pick.
Who's gonna be left? Who's gonna be left in the third round?
We don't even have a third round.
Oh, do we really not have a third round pick?
We have one pick, and we have to pick that asshole Slim.
So do we trade away our third?
I don't know, probably. I just listen to Slim
God.
and Ford tell me.
Well, in that case, the only option we can do is
take DTF in a second.
Yes, exactly. Oh man. Oh, that, like, as much as those two hate each other, I don't even think Slim could do that to spite him. Like, I think they hate each other that much that like they would avoid that. But yeah, unfortunately, we have to take that bum, Avon Bloxdale Jr., or as I like to call him, Game Manager 1. He doesn't throw interceptions. That's all I can ask.
He doesn't throw touchdowns either.
Hey, we don't need touchdowns when we got Fuzzy and Jed.
Just let Fuzzy run the ball all the time.
Yeah. And then he asked me, is there a way I can get my name cleared from the Kid Diddle accusations? Nah, dude, you're kind of fucked. Especially, like, I think you had like 2 more after you already posted this question on the question thread.
Yeah, it's like he wants to clear his name, and then he goes around and says stuff again. So it's like you're not going to get your name cleared at this rate.
Yeah, like, hold on, let me just go.
If we go to Philly right now, I'm pretty sure the last thing he said was talking about kids.
Yeah. Let's see here. Was it in the team pins?
Well, he said I love apple cider was the last thing, which still could be questionable.
You know what,
that could be his name for his little call boy.
Yeah, he's. Oh man. Yeah, you have some very odd time quotes. I think I mean, I got to please on speed dial, man. So you're like one step away.
Well, Monday at 7:32 in Myrtle Beach's locker room, he said, "I just really love children." So I mean,
man.
It's kind of on him.
Oh, hold on. Let me look at the Tijuana one. Let's see. Oh, I know he's got something in here that was just. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. On October 29th, 2019. I love kid diddling. To be honest.
See, I
Full
mean,
stop. That is the quote. I love kid diddling. To be honest.
you're not going to clear your name at that rate. I mean, you're making your name worse.
Yes. And this all
Like,
started.
I don't know what you're shooting for.
Yeah, and this all started in reference because we were having a conversation in the Tijuana locker room about. I was talking shit to Slim about Penn State, and I was like, it was like we were talking about like I was talking shit about Penn State, and then somebody else was talking about like paying college players, and I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, paying recruits versus paying hush money to cover up kid diddling, and then immediately following that statement was. Good versus evil. I love kid diddling, to be honest. And then he tries to say, "Oh, that's out of context." I don't know what context there was there, buddy.
Well, I mean, it depends what the context is. So is it in a bathroom stall in Penn State or not? I mean, that's kind of the context.
Oh man, so
what is it with Tijuana and kid diddling? Because now you have Jake, you got Slim, you had TH who groomed you. I mean, there's a non-stop kid diddling factory going on in Tijuana.
Yeah, maybe I'm just no. I would like to deny that right now. There is no such thing. We do not support that. Full stop. So fucked up thing in high school. I don't remember if SJJ was actually on the team, but like, so me and Sweet finished our senior year of football, and then a whole bunch of the guys went and like all the seniors that graduated. This is like back in 2012. They went and joined a like an intramural flag football team, like league or whatever. And this was like right when all the Penn State accusations were. And these are a bunch of like 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds, mind you. Their team name was the Sandusky's. Yes. And those dudes would smash like fucking 12 packs of Natty and then go play flag football as the Sandusky's. Yeah. Just to show you I didn't run with that crowd that back like me and
oh yeah, sure you didn't run with that crowd.
No. So like in high school me and Sweet were friends, but we weren't like real tight like
you were diddle buddies?
Yo, chill out, bro. But we didn't really become like good friends until like after I graduated, and then we had a couple mutual friends that we're both like best friends with, and that's kind of how we got super close and whatnot. But yeah, Sweet was kind of a douche in high school. It still is.
Oh, shots fired at
Still
Sweet.
is.
Sweet's gonna come back hard after he hears this now.
No, he's too
We
lazy.
have done nothing but.
He's too lazy to listen to the podcast. I'm good.
You're right. He's just gonna assume you talk shit about him and just talk shit about that.
Oh, he does. All right, and then Jake also asked, "What is my second favorite cereal?" Oh God.
Ooh. Hard-hitting questions from Jake.
Man. Second favorite cereal. See, like I'm a sucker for like granola shit.
Oh man.
What's like? There's one like I can't remember the name of the brand. It has like a big ass bear on the front of it, and it's like orange and like brown.
Sounds like something they serve at like retirement homes.
Dude, I'm internally like 55, so it's all good. All right, moving on.
Cereal with hair.
Yeah. From the one and only Saba Donut Man. He asked, "Why will I win Offensive Rookie of the Year? Look at my stats."
So this is like a Ben Simmons type thing, isn't it? Where it's like you win Rookie of the Year, but you've been a rookie for like 3 years.
Yeah, pretty much. It's exactly what it is. Let's see, Saba. What do you got going on here? Saba Donut. Let's see. 51 catches, 742 yards, and 8 touchdowns as like a fucking 7th-year senior.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
JT Barrett over here.
I don't know, man. I think it will be actually a pretty close call between you and Tariki, man, or Bex. She's only got half the touchdowns, but she's got more yards. Plus, dude, you got like 200 TP on her. Come on, man. Don't be a bully. That's just rude.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what happened to Vincent. Vincent started the year really hot, looking like he was going to run away with the Offensive Rookie of the Year, like the first 3 or 4 games. He had huge games, was putting up good numbers, and then he just kind of mellowed out. So I was kind of really hoping he was going to go on a good run, but that's Colorado for you, giving you all the hype just to let you down.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know. I mean, I could see some arguments for Tariki. I mean, obviously I'm one Bex to win because she's Bex, but I mean, Saba does have the numbers. If we're just looking at numbers,
Yeah, I'll put it this way, man. So if you're listening, if you win it, I won't be mad. I won't argue it at all. I'll have no
no,
problems with that.
no.
You just, I mean, if you win it, you deserve it. I think it'll just be a close race. That's all.
Yeah, I think Saba's definitely deserved it if he gets the stats. It doesn't mean we're not going to talk crap about him because
Yeah.
I mean that's what we do. Saba's definitely has the stats to win the award.
Yeah, for sure. His second question is DSFL award predictions. Okay.
Ooh, this is the hard hitting one right here.
Well, I mean,
This is
I can just run it.
yeah. Well, I mean, Fuzzy has to win MVP just because he's done everything for Tijuana. I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy lined up at safety a few games and maybe kicked off some kicks. Like Fuzzy's done everything. He's got to get the MVP for Tijuana.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously I'm biased. Fuzzy's best co-GM in the world, but I mean, the dude had 1,700 all-purpose yards, which is like him and Drake are like 20 to 30 yards off of each other, and they had the same amount of touchdowns.
Ran the ball 100 more times.
Well, I mean, I factored in Fuzzy's catches as well, but yeah.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Fuzzy got the same amount of yardage on 100 less, the same amount of yardage and touchdowns on 100 less touches combined. So that's my MVP pick. But I mean, either way, it's a three-way battle, though. I mean, you can't discount JQ season either.
No. I feel like this is a tighter race than last year's, which is saying a lot because last year's race was tight. Even though Q blew it out, everyone had a lot of who could have been winning it. But this year, I could definitely see Drake having some arguments. I could see Fuzzy with some arguments. I could see Q with arguments again. But in my opinion, I'm putting Fuzzy as the MVP and Drake as Offensive Player of the Year.
I agree.
Just because, I mean, Drake put up crazy numbers, and he averaged 4.8 yards per carry.
Yeah, high volume.
It's not as good as some. Yeah, it's not as good as the guys that are under him, but he did carry the ball 100 more times than anybody else in the league.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the guy he got results. I mean, he basically carried KC.
Yeah.
100%.
And I'm not discounting his season. I just will say.
No.
Kansas City's, they won 7 games, they lost 7. 6 of their 7 wins were against, no offense, the 2 bottom league teams in Myrtle Beach and Norfolk.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Drake had like 5,000 yards running against Myrtle Beach because we could not stop him to save our life.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for picking up KC-15 or Jed at the beginning of the season, I mean, Fuzzy would have a lot more stats. We just happened to pick up another really good running back that let us have a kind of a two-headed monster going. Because, I mean, even on his Jed zone, he had like 1,400 yards, I think, or almost 1,400 yards.
And he had 9 touchdowns, which is still a huge season.
Yeah. And, like, some people might want to discount just the fact that, Fuzzy's just a good player on a team with a bunch of good players, but I don't know. I mean, I can definitely see the argument for Drake, but I definitely, to me, the MVP should go to the player that's on the best, maybe not necessarily on the best team, but one of the best teams. Like, last year, I know that Q won the MVP, and then Bex got Offensive Player of the Year, and a lot of people kind of had, I guess, issues with it. Not many issues, but they had arguments. But I understood it, though.
Yeah.
JQ had a historic season.
Record-breaking season.
Well, almost. He tied it.
Well, tied it, yeah.
Yeah. And then, like I said, he pretty much followed it up with a somewhat better season this year, actually. But, yeah, I mean, they were 11-3 last year. He was balling out, and then Bex was on I think they won 2 or 3 games last year. So you can't give the offensive player of the year 100% for sure. MVP, no, because to me MVP means your team
won. Yeah, you did enough to help your team win.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you could kind of say KC being in the playoffs, yes, they were winning, but again, look at that division. I mean, you have Portland and then you have Norfolk and Myrtle Beach. We both know are struggling teams. So KC, unless something drastic happened, they weren't going to miss the playoff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, they really didn't do enough for me to say Drake is the reason they're this powerhouse, because they're really not.
Yeah. So what do you think about Defensive Player of the Year?
That's kind of rough because we don't have that many defensive rookies. I mean, if we're looking, Marlowe had another huge season, obviously, with tackle. I mean, he had 164, 4 TFLs, 3 sacks, but
Well, I mean, and even just below that, you got Junior Lopez or Bino, who's 152
Yeah.
tackles, 1 TFL, 3 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, 2 picks, 4 passes defended. But both of them went inactive towards the better half of the last portion of the season.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to give awards out to people who aren't here.
Exactly. And that's the thing. There isn't a whole lot of active guys on the defense because this was kind of a small defensive draft class for S19. You can make the argument for Franchi. I mean, he had 38 tackles, 14 TFLs, and 8 sacks. I mean, that's a huge season for a defensive end.
Yeah, I'm actually... So, to me, the homer pick in me, obviously, is going to be Howard Ryan.
Yeah.
68 tackles, 5 tackles for losses, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and then he led the league with 9 sacks. That's like 100% my homer pick, but if I'm going to go unbiased, I think I actually might have to go with Blaylock out of KC. When you kind of
Blaylock?
Yeah, dude. 110 tackles, 6 tackles for losses, 2 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 4 sacks, an interception, and then 3 passes defended. I mean, as far as like the active players, I mean that's killing it.
He did do everything.
Yeah, 4 sacks, 4 turnovers, plus 2 other forced fumbles, 100, triple or 3-digit tackles, got TFLs. So I think objectively that might be, to me,
mostly because he is active.
Yeah, and then
I mean, that's kind of one of the weird things. I mean, we obviously want to give it to a great player, and we want to give it to somebody active because we're not going to high five someone that's not here.
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah, it was like last year was so easy to choose just because Louisiana Purchase's season was
everyone was active.
Well, not even that, but like
unreal.
Yeah, Louisiana Purchase LP's season was like head and shoulders above everybody. I mean, it was just ridiculous the numbers he put up.
Dude was a pick 6 machine.
Well, pick 6, he had like 9 interceptions, 2 sacks. I mean, it was ridiculous.
He was doing everything.
Yeah.
And then like we're looking at secondary. Casey Dream had a decent year. He had 79 tackles. He had 4 picks, a touchdown, and he had a forced fumble, which it's a good season and probably definitely up there for secondary of cornerback of the year or secondary of the year or whatever the award is. But I don't know. It's not quite complete enough for defensive player of the year, only because of like the year Blaylock had, where Blaylock did that and more.
Yeah, as much as I was arguing against Drake, like I recognize the season that Drake had, and then Blaylock was almost like that version. Like he was what Drake was to the offense to the defense for KC.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of held that defense together and kept them in a lot of ball games.
Yeah, and if you watch the actual last couple of games of the season, like he went off like these last 2 to 3 games.
Yeah, he really did. He really stepped up and when the team needed him.
Yeah, but at the same time, I still think I think Howard Ryan still has an argument in that. So he lined up at the first 2 or 3 games. I think maybe in the first 4. He lined up the first 4 games at strong safety, and then we made the switch to the 3-4 just because we had the pieces to do it. And so we started lining him up at outside linebacker, and I mean led the league with 9 sacks. So I think you got to take that into account. But
yeah, definitely.
That'll be a hard one. I don't know if I have. I mean, man, I don't know.
I really wish we could give more respect to the defensive line because French had a huge season for a defensive line, which he'll probably end up winning the DA Defensive Line of the Year again. But a season like that, you think you'd be rewarded with at least some votes for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, the guy went off.
Yeah.
8 sacks, 14 tackles for loss. That's almost as good as you can be as a defensive lineman in this.
Yeah, I mean, he won last year with worse numbers.
Yeah, I'm saying like for Defensive Player of the Year, actually getting, I mean, not necessarily winning, but at least getting votes and saying, hey, defensive line is up there.
Yeah.
You know?
They just don't get the tackles, I think, sometimes.
That's the biggest thing. They just get written off.
Well, that, and they never, linebackers and safeties, like, they have the opportunity to get interceptions, get sacks, He
doesn't have that opportunity.
Yeah, sorry, he gets sacks, but yeah, he has no opportunity for interceptions or anything like that. But, yeah, I think he definitely has, he would have a dog in the hunt just with the 14 tackles for losses, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge.
And then, GM of the year, I'm going to vote for myself and Fuzzy.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry.
You can't argue it. I mean, obviously you want to give it to somebody that's that's going to the Ultimate, and the way it's looking, it's going to be Tijuana and Portland again.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, with you guys being new GMs
I don't know,
and
man.
doing it and
I'm
going
kinda,
to it again.
yeah, I'm just nervous about the conference championship game.
If San Antonio pulls it off and beats you guys and does the Ultimate, I'm voting for Red and Walker 100%.
Are you serious?
Walker. I mean, yeah, look, like, they have been working hard, and they can somehow take down the Titan that is Tijuana. You gotta reward that, especially considering they can't win at home to save their life, and this is the team that lost to Myrtle Beach twice. I mean, if they can somehow pull it off and walk away from this season with an Ultimate, it's kind of hard not to at least give them some.
Yeah. No, I will say that I think they've had a lot of bad sim luck go their way, because I think that they've consistently tested well. I just think they've been getting fucked by the sim.
Yeah. And then one thing that they had Bauer, who was a good quarterback, who was set to lead them, and they had them move and had Waldo take over, had a new quarterback completely out of the blue, and they've still been able to be successful. So that's also something huge you got to say to their team, is they took a successful quarterback and were able to make a new offense for a new quarterback and still be successful.
I'm just saying Tijuana did that too.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I know, but you got that
I know.
slim.
I'm just no. I know.
Yeah, still, there's still a fair point. Basically, it's both of you guys being new GMs with San Antonio and Tijuana being new GMs. Both of you guys have had an amazing season and have done great work, and it's definitely both groups are deserving of the award.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm biased. I try not to be cocky or anything like that. And now, Wilkers and Rev, that's a very fucking solid team.
Yeah, it really is.
And I think them two together will be. I definitely expect San Antonio to finish above 6 wins next year.
Oh yeah. I could definitely see them. That duo is definitely going to bring home some hardware. They're going to win GM of the Year awards. They're going to win Ultimates. That duo, and then you and Fuzzy. That's going to be a huge rivalry to watch throughout the season. And I hate that Myrtle Beach is stuck in that same division because we're just going to be battling to get into this fight every year. And it's definitely a fun division to be in.
We're like the Steelers and the Ravens, and you're the Bengals.
Oh, come on! Don't put us at least against the Browns. Like, we at least had hype coming into the season.
Yeah,
like
okay, that's a good comparison. All right.
Now, what
go ahead.
Performance of the year? What about performance of the year?
I was just looking at that. That's a so obviously another biased pick. Fuzzy Dotson
against Myrtle Beach.
Yep, 150. I mean, the only thing that sucks about it is he only had 1 touchdown, but he put up 150
300 yards.
Yeah, well, 150 rushing yards and then 107 receiving yards. But Drake's 160 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, that's great.
That's hard not to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a difficult one.
The hardest thing with that one is that you really have to look at every game. I mean, and also, like, do you want to look at offense or do you want to look at defense? Because, I mean, there were some huge games by some defensive players that maybe don't blow up the stat sheet, but they're just unreal games.
Yeah. You don't get, and the quick sheet that you can pull up doesn't show pass deflections either, and I think that's a stat that's neglected.
Yeah. Like, I'm just kind of, I mean, obviously being biased. I got my GM bots have had great games. That's one thing, but Vassallo, our defensive end, who's been great for us in the locker room, even though he's been kind of quiet.
Getting like a whole bunch of tackle for losses and no sacks?
Yeah, he had a game. I'm trying to find the game. He had a game where he had 7 tackles, 5 tackles for losses, and 1 sack, I believe.
See,
the guy is just disruptive, and that's all he does is get tackles for loss.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that game because he's.
It's funny.
He's been up.
I was saying. So we named one of our bots this year after Scorp. His name is Sux Lamap.
Lamap.
Yep. And he actually had a 7 tackle, 5 TFL game with no sacks. But getting any more than like 2 tackles for losses in a single game is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's almost unheard of. I mean, even that. I mean, Bartowski, he was an S18 guy who went inactive, but he's also. I mean, he has like 22 tackle for losses this year on the opposite side of Vassallo.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get guys that have these huge games on defense, but it's kind of hard to say a defensive guy had the best game of the season unless they got pick sixes or fumbles for return for touchdowns. When you
Yeah.
have these offensive guys that have 250 something yards and touchdowns.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as much as I would love to say Fuzzy's, almost, 260-yard combined game where he went over 100 rushing and receiving, I think the one touchdown on that one hurts him, and the 160 yards and 4 touchdowns by Drake in a single game, that's just monster. I think that's probably going to end up taking it home.
I'm pretty sure that was also against Myrtle Beach because everyone likes to make fun of our defense.
Well, yeah, you don't got one.
Like, hey, we tried. We did our best.
Yeah, you did. All right. Let's see. What else do they got on there? I mean, I'm not gonna go through. I don't think I'm gonna go through all the individual position ones.
No.
There's too much to talk about.
That's yeah, exactly.
All right. Saba says, "Can I have your picks?"
No, unless you're gonna give me like your whole team, then we might talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to trade me, like, you can have all my picks if, like, for this year's draft, if I can have, like, all your picks for the next 2 drafts. Let's make that trade.
Oh, if I can get Casey Dream, I can maybe give you my 4th.
I mean, do you think he's going to be here next year?
He's a corner. Odds of him getting called up unless he changes to, like, a nickelback, I don't know. I mean, he's played a year and a half. I don't really know if he's got... I guess it depends on the team that gets him. I mean...
Well, so, like, okay, so NOLA has the first pick, and I don't know if they'll... I mean, there is the whole, Issa and him connection. They're best friends, I think, in real life as well. But
yeah.
they got Rector, they got Juice, they have Swift, who just changed to safety. I mean, so they have one hole, but I don't know if he steps in there right away. So I mean, I can definitely see them still taking him with the first overall pick and then just stashing him for a season. But if he goes to like somebody like San Jose, I mean, they literally.
Oh, he's getting the call. Yeah, he's getting the call. But that's kind of the thing. It depends. If he gets picked up by a Yellowknife or, like you said, a NOLA, I see him spending another year in the NSFL. But if like a San Jose picks him up, then I can definitely see him playing this season, even if it's out of position, a nickelback or something like that.
Nickelback or a safety or what have you. So, yeah, no, he's a pretty cool guy though. He says, "What is your reaction to me actually having an Ultimate?"
I hate seeing that trophy next to his name. Like, I really hate it, mostly because he got it as a beach boy in Palm Beach. Because that makes me feel like if Saba can win one in Palm Beach, why can't I win one as a beach team? It just it hurts me. It hurts me deep in my soul. I want you to know that.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't think. I mean, I guess technically it's kind of like the same rule as like if somebody like lines up for the Super Bowl winner for like 2 plays on the first week of the season, and then they cut or trade them, but that team still wins the Super Bowl. Like they still get a Super Bowl ring. So
yeah,
it's
I mean, okay.
premise.
If we're being honest, if Saba has one for S15 Palm Beach, then Jake should get one for Tijuana last season.
But he never actually signed a contract with Tijuana.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But his draft card shows him as a luchador.
I mean, Eli Manning's draft card shows him as a Charger, so...
well, yeah, but the Chargers aren't winning any Super Bowls.
That's true. Yeah, but so does Phillip Rivers get Super Bowl? Oh, I guess they win it that season, so whatever. Yeah, I won't get into that. Although I will say, give GMs trophies on the forums. Tom and Scorp, I think, still don't have a trophy for last year.
Well, I mean, their trophy cases are already full. They can't just put more trophies. They got to build a whole new shelf and everything.
Yeah. All right. He says, "What food combinations are sins?" I think this is a loaded question. Obviously, pancakes and
whatever Bex
applesauce.
eats normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever Bex eats is a sin.
Whatever Bex has for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's a fucking horrible combination.
If Bex says, "You know what's good," then no.
Yes. Yeah. The more that she like tells me suggestions for food, the less I want to visit Minnesota for the food.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's not making Minnesota sound like a good place to go to.
Yeah.
If they don't have maple syrup that close to Canada, then I don't know if I want to go there.
Yeah. Did you know that they call casseroles hot dishes?
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is Minnesota's? I feel like Minnesota was placed there by like aliens and no one else noticed.
Do they call knives like pointy sticks or something?
Yeah, like are forks food stabbers? Like I don't get what they're shooting for in Minnesota.
Yeah, I
That's probably why that's probably why they're the Vikings. I mean, there's no Vikings in Minnesota. They obviously landed near the coast. Why are they in the middle of the nation?
Yeah, that's another good one. They fucking raid the beaches of Michigan.
Yeah, of Lake Erie.
Yeah.
I don't know where the lakes are.
Yeah, there's like what 5, I think. Don't shoot me.
Yeah, it's at least 6.
Okay.
But Bex is gonna hear this and yell at us about this.
Oh yeah. She'll come scream at us. His last question is, he says, last one, I promise. Should I make a podcast? Dude, yeah, everything. I think everybody should make a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the desire to, sit down and record one, just go ahead and do it, man. I think this league needs a lot more audible personalities that you can listen to.
Oh yeah.
People love looking forward to Adam's vidcast. I know Ravens one. I mean, literally, like, I didn't realize. I still don't know where he's from, but I didn't realize Raven wasn't from America, which we have a lot of people like that in the league. But like, it's like everybody kind of has like their own style. Like, if you listen to Ravens, it's like you feel like you're being wined and dined as he's talking.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, it's like the classical music's in the background. Like it's like every podcast has their
Hi
flair.
guys.
So,
I'm Raven, and welcome to my podcast.
Yeah. And then
first, we're going to talk about draft picks.
Yeah, and I haven't listened to Jake. I can't say the second half of it. Jake Torsi or I'm gonna call it
Joe Catorsi.
Joe Catorsi.
JK?
Yeah, JK. I was just gonna say JK. I haven't listened to JK's podcast yet. I need to, but yeah, I think podcasts just can kind of give some more flair to the league. I definitely think 'cause it helps you give some personality. I guess. So yeah, I encourage anybody that wants to make one, go ahead and make one.
Especially someone like Saba.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what you had to say, just so I could yell at you and disagree.
It's just Kerchoo for an hour.
Yeah. it's just like a YouTuber Kerchoo, just like.
It's like, hey guys, I'm Saba. Welcome to my podcast. A Kerchoo. No, but Saba, like, you're definitely a character. Like, people really like a lot of the people in this league. I mean, and there's a lot of characters, and Saba's one of them that people love. People love talking to Saba, even if it's shit talk to Saba. But Saba's just an entertaining guy, and I think it'd be a really fun podcast to watch.
Yeah, you know what's funny is, oh goddamn, what the hell's the name of the? So, Dulio, his profile is like Taco from the league.
Taco MacArthur?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that is actually Saba in real life. Like, I don't know. Like, you were I don't know how to put it.
That's how you explain Saba.
Saba, sometimes you are jaw-dropping, impressively aloof. That's the best way I could put it.
Like, and the bad thing is like Saba will say something and it's like, wow, Saba's smart, and then he says things and you're like, no, Saba's not smart. Like it's like Saba will release these leaks that no one else has heard of, and it's like, holy crap, how'd Saba know that? And then Saba would say, hey guys, did you know Palm Beach is the Myrtle Beach Buccaneers now? Like it's so ahead of the times and so behind the times at the same time.
Yeah, it's impressive, man. No, dude, I love having you around, though.
Oh, yeah.
Give me some more of your draft picks before this draft, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, please. You don't need your first, second, or third, I'm pretty sure. Myrtle Beach could use them.
You're good. You got JQ next year anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on from Saba. Huskies311, Saba's co-GM, says, these are for both of us. He says, first impressions about GMing.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah, I know you got a little bit of head start on me.
TH and Scorp made it look easy, but it's hard.
It is, man. You know, it's funny. So the whole grooming joke that Hall mentioned earlier in the podcast, right? So like as like the season was like approaching the playoffs and kind of winding down, they brought me into the war room, and Tom and Sabo, wow, Tom and Scorp. Ooh, wow, Scorp's gonna be mad at me for that
Undefeated
one.
duo of Tom and Sabo. Think of all the Ultimates Sabo would win with Tom.
If Tom didn't strangle him first, like
They
Tom,
have no picks and all the picks at the same time.
yeah, like Tom would like go to sleep trading for like 10 draft picks and then wake up and then have none. And then
Sabo's like, look, I have a great deal.
Well, Sabo's like, look, man, they had all these kickers.
Tom would get 10 picks and just for Sabo to trade them all away the next day.
Yes, exactly. Oh man. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, Scorp and TH brought me into the locker room. They were like, "Hey man, we kind of identified you. We want you to take over Tijuana in the future. Keyword in the future or words." And I was like, "All right, cool. Like I got time to learn from you guys. Like I need to learn the ropes, learn how to put my scouting sheets together, all that jazz." And then it was like, we won the Ultimate, and then I think it was like a day or two later, Scorp was like, "Peace, I'm out. I'm going to Baltimore." And I was like, "Oh shit, I guess I'm stepping up as co-GM right away. All right, cool." And then like the same day, Tom was like, "Bro, I'm kind of going over to New Orleans, so here's the keys to the Ferrari." He was like, "Here's the keys to the Ferrari. Just don't fucking wreck it." And yeah, so no, I mean they did help me out a bunch, man. But yeah, it was definitely a steep learning curve, I guess. I think the biggest one was just learning how to do sim testing and getting the sim down. Once I got past that, it was smooth sailing and somewhat addictive, I might add. Trying to get that.
Yeah, find you a coach to do it for you.
Yeah, trying to get that last percentage is toxic. Is the only word I can think of.
See, you talk about how you got this nice Ferrari. I got like a 67 Hoopty that only had 2 wheels, barely had an engine. It barely even was a car, to be honest with you. And it wasn't even a key. It was just like, hey, here it is.
You got like oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Like it was just like a weird thing because I was like, man, we keep losing. And then Dwyer came to me and was like, hey, by the way, your GMs are stepping down. It's your job now. And I was just like, I don't know how to do this. I've only been in the league for like 3 weeks. And he was just like, well, I don't know how to do it. You figure it out. And it's just been a nonstop of just like I still have this Hoopty, but I'm trying to put nicer wheels on it. But as you can see,
you put a rim on you put like 20-inch rims on like a 1993 Honda Civic.
Like, I haven't fixed any of the inside. Like, the engine's still the same. It's still shit, but it's got a real nice spoiler on the back now. So, like, it looks nicer. But it just isn't running any better.
I just imagine, like, sweet James Jones, like, riding down, like, Myrtle Beach Boulevard and this, like, fucked up hoopy on big-ass rims.
Like, we basically went out this year. Like, I love Frost. And Frost has been nothing but great. And I love having Frost as a co. But we basically took this season and were like, look, we're going to save Myrtle Beach now. And we got all of these great characters, all these great pickups. We fucking stormed Myrtle Beach with these superstars and then limped our way through the season. We beat San Antonio twice, which is basically a win in our book. That was our Super Bowl. That was our ultimate, is beating San Antonio twice.
Yeah.
But GMing's hard. And then, like I'm in Philly's war room, and I feel like I know less about GMing now that I'm with real GMs teaching me how to GM.
I agree.
It's hard.
I mean, we have the whole benefit of not having to deal with like salary cap and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But I think the DSFL has its own aspects that are unique to it versus the NSFL that you have to kind of adjust for. Like you draft like this superstar like player with your first overall pick, but it's like
he's gone the next day.
Yeah, like he's gonna. Well, it's like not even like IA, but like after the season, you're almost guaranteed to lose him.
Yeah, you can't really build for the future unless you take a quarterback and you know they're going to sit around for 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, maybe wide receivers because they usually stick around for like a year or two. But
Or you turn into San Antonio and you have two basically running back of the years both stay down for some reason.
Yep. And still lose 8 games.
It's still not easy. And how are they worse this year? And like I don't get
it either. I think
how do you have Ruff win running back of the year, had talks for MVP, and he's like the 7th best running back this season?
Well, to be fair, he still had 16 touchdowns this year.
Well, yeah. But it's just I was expecting him and Yachty to have just an amazing untouchable season.
Oh, I got scared when they both got sent down. I was like, oh no, this isn't good.
Yeah, and then we lost both of our running backs, and they were like the 8th and 15th best running back in the league, and this NSFL was like, no, we want those guys.
Yeah, and then I think the other aspect of it that trades, man.
Oh yeah.
It's ruthless. Like even the trade the trade between me and you, fucking ruthless.
Yeah, and that's the thing with like trades. I think it's because this league, everyone's kind of friends with each other. This league is so kind of like you either love somebody or you hate them. It's kind of the way the vibe of this league is. So it's trading with people, especially like trading with friends. It's like I don't want to screw them over. I'm trying to find an equal trade, but it's just like you don't want to ask for more, but you should ask for more, and it's just weird. It's tough. It definitely is tough.
I definitely agree.
And then like with the NSFL, trading is completely different there. You have to look at money and salary cap, and it's like, okay, I want to trade for a pick and $4 million in cap space. DSFL is, I want to trade for your pick, but I don't know if you're going to be here next year, so how can we make this work?
Yeah, that's me, because like what? I tried to trade for Charles Allen from you, or before the draft.
Who got called up the day after, and he got basically called up right before the draft started.
I was trying to go after Trey Bacon with Saba at one point, and then he got called up. So, like, that one threw me off. I was like, okay, thank God I didn't do that shit. I mean, I wouldn't have put the trade through until after the draft happened, obviously, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just like people you think that, or then like, of all fucking things, the one that really just kind of not screwed me over, but threw me off was Chicago called up 2 of my offensive linemen who were less than 125 TPE, which is good in the DSFL, but
not good in the NSFL. That's really been proven.
That's like lining up Stephen Hawkins at left tackle.
I'm glad that Chicago dropped down Will Smith, though. I mean, I'm glad they didn't need wide receivers. I mean, that was good for us.
That's
but we still lost.
They dropped down Will Smith, but then traded for Action Jackson.
Yeah, like that's what I don't understand.
I mean, I guess Will Smith's inactive. I mean, I can see that, I guess.
Yeah, they wanted an active player. The NSFL is its own monster in general. Like, it just... That and there's more teams. With the DSFL, you kind of have... You can trade to 5 teams, and once you talk to a team enough, it's kind of like, look, we've already traded with you 3 times. We're not trading with you again. Like, you need like a season off of trades.
Yeah, I agree. Saba was definitely a lot less willing to talk with me this year than last year. I mean, he still talked to me, but it was more, it was hard to make leeway this time around, obviously.
Yeah. Well, in Saba, you have to throw a meme at him. Like, if he wanted to trade for Will Smith, all because someone said it'd be funny if he got Will Smith, and he was like, I'm going to trade for Will Smith. And I don't know.
And then trades are weird.
Yeah, exactly. The Jack Mahoff trade, that was just all over the place, which actually he ended up having a good season, so I really can't be mad at Saba for that one.
Nope.
Jack ended up having a decent season.
Yeah. All right, Husky's second question. Which player in the DSFL has surprised you the most?
Ooh.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Dang, Huskies, why you drop us on that one?
Well, you know what? Actually, that's actually an easy answer. Fucking Casey Dream, that motherfucker.
Casey Dream, yeah.
Yeah, so Issa is supposedly our friend. And so, like, before the draft, Issa doesn't say a word to us. Like, me, you, anybody. And so, like, to me, I checked out Casey Dream's, profile on the forums and said, okay, hadn't logged in like 2 or 3 weeks, like had 2 posts, and I was like, okay, this is one of those guys came in, he created, and then probably got a little overwhelmed and just dropped it. So I was like, all right, whatever, if I have like the last pick of the draft, like I'll pick him, whatever. And so the whole draft goes by, Portland picks him up, and I'm like, okay, blah 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 blah. Like they got a 50 TPE cornerback. Whatever. I'm not worried about it. And then like a day after the draft, Issa was like, "Oh yeah, Casey Dream's my best friend in real life, and he's about to come back." And now he might be the consensus. He might be the consensus number 1 pick. So yeah, that one from that perspective, it surprised me the most, just like relative to draft stock.
I will say one thing about Casey, because obviously I love Casey because he beat Portland based by himself. But Casey, he was active for a little bit. Then when I knew he was friends with Issa, and I knew we only had 3 picks to work with, and we had our set of who the 3 we wanted. But I was trying so hard to get a 4th, and I talked to Issa during the draft, and I was like, "Hey, is Corey coming back?" And he was like, "I don't know. He's busy. I'll talk to him." And this was during the 4th round, so I was like, "All right, I'm going to trade up to get him." And that was the pick that I was trying so hard to get him from Portland, to get that pick from Portland. I was throwing everything I could with little bit I had to get him, and ended up Portland took him at that pick. And that is when Issa came back and said, "Oh yeah, Corey's coming back." And I was like, he just got picked by Portland.
Oh man.
So it was I brought him back to let him make Portland better.
Yeah. So.
No,
you're good. Go ahead.
It was rough. It was rough, but talking about like later round picks. I mean, I'm biased obviously, but Zed kind of showed up, said, "I want to be a blocking back. I'm in PBE. I like doing weird positions that maybe aren't good." So I was like, "All right, you're the only running back in the draft. We don't have a running back. We're gonna pick you." I didn't tell him that obviously, but so I was like, "We're gonna have a blocking back, so we're not gonna have a great running game, which we're a yeeting team anyway." But then it was so out of the blue. Literally, right after we sent in the pick to get him, he sent me a PM saying, "Hey, I'm changing the speed back," and I was like, "Oh my God! All right, you've saved me. You've saved Myrtle Beach. You are going to be a superstar for us." I don't know what made him want to change to his speed back, but him doing that, he is loved forever, and then he is a machine inside of it. He doesn't talk at all in general chat or rookie chat or anything, but he is a machine in Myrtle Beach's locker room, just mining Pokemon all day.
Yeah.
Like that.
He seems, in the few interactions I've had with him, he seems like a pretty cool dude.
Oh, yeah, he's a great dude, and I mean, I could see him being a steal in the NSFL just because he is staying active. He is earning a lot, and he's getting his speed up there. I think he said he's at over 90 speed now. But I would love for him to stay down. I mean, if you're listening to Zed, I'm not telling you to stay down. I want you to do what's best for your career and for you to have fun and go to a winning team. But if you stay down, we're going to be full on vexing you next year with DTF. Like, the dude is great. He's just him, sweet DTF, like, and even other guys, Basalo, like they're all great dudes, and they all. I wish I could have done better for him. Like, I feel bad. Like, Vassallo, Libertines is his Discord name. He was a waiver pick right after the draft, and he was kind of quiet. Then all of a sudden, he was like, "Hey guys, sorry I've been quiet. I just did a 36 TPE update." And we were like, "What the hell, dude? Like, you just sat on that for 2 weeks for us?" And he's been a solid dude with a little bit he's been here too. And I want him the best for my guys, and I really hope Myrtle Beach is around next year so we can get this put together.
I hope y'all guys stay around too, Ben.
Yeah, because they're a bunch of. I can say S19 is full of a bunch of really good people.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so kind of same thing. We're waiver pickup for us right before the start of the season, and we got KC15, another PBE guy.
Yeah.
And he has been phenomenal. If it wasn't for Fuzzy Dotson, I mean, he would have been right up there in stats with Drake maybe. But he allowed us to have. I mean, he really finished and completed our offense. He really allowed us to flex Fuzzy out to receiver more often than not, and he's been a top earner since the day he stepped in. And I won't say I'm surprised because as soon as he went on the waivers, I talked to a couple PBE guys, and they were like, "Oh, dude, take him. You won't regret it."
Yeah. Everyone's saying like he's the guy. Like.
Yeah. So, and I know sometimes you kind of get a mixed bag with some of the PBE guys come over. I got really lucky this year with him, Arian Lacker. I think I know I got a couple more than that. But
we got a good group of PBE guys in S19 because
yeah,
Zed Libertines, and I think Hunter Scott. I think they're all PBE guys, and I mean they're all great dudes. They're all really. I mean, PBE, we get some bad rumors about PBE guys coming over thinking they're so great because their league is better, which But I mean these guys were all really good dudes and chicks, for Kanako.
yeah. All right, Husky's next question is, oh man, this is an emotional one. Can you bring back? You can bring back one inactive from season 18. Who is it?
Ooh.
There's a few, man.
Are we going by player or by person?
I think just person in general.
Okay.
Trey Bacon, I think, is the obvious pick.
Yeah. Trey and Ocelot. Those are the two as people.
Man, I don't know what happened to Ocelot, but I mean, he just felt like both of them. They just didn't back in one day.
Yeah. One thing I would say, he's kind of every now and again he comes back in, but he's mostly IA. Gibby was one of the main him and Franchi and I we were the midnight crew, and when Gibby said I'm going IA, it hurt. I mean, he comes back every now and again to make some jokes, but it's not the same as what he was. Like I said, getting Gibby back full time, that would be great.
Yeah, for sure. And then another one, I mean, it's just from Tijuana side. Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
He was super active. I mean, he was max earning since the day he got drafted, and that was another one just didn't log back in one day.
Same thing. Matt Adams. Adams was the same way. He was real active when first got drafted the PB, and then he just stopped updating one day.
Yeah. But I think Trey's the obvious pick. The stuff that he was doing before he went inactive was phenomenal with the Madden videos.
Oh yeah.
The content he was putting out, and so he was going to be another portion of the newsletter that me, Hall, and Issa did last season, and him and Ocelot, as a matter of fact. And so, it just sucked to see both of them kind of just fall off the face of the earth. So I think either Ocelot or Bacon gets my choice.
Yeah,
right.
Those are probably the two obviouses.
Yeah. All right. So, oh man, we're gonna have to split this up into 2 different uploads. We're officially we're at an hour and 2 minutes.
I did not realize we've been going that long.
Oh, it's fine, man.
Yeah.
Fleshback Soup, FBS. That's my boy right there, man.
Oh, the emoji man.
The emoji man himself. I will kill somebody for FBS if he asks me to. He says, would you ever get a pet snake? Yeah, for sure. I've had them as a kid. My dad and my stepmom have a ball python. I love snakes. I think they're cool. I have no issues with them. I mean, they don't scare me. I would have no problem owning one.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not against snakes, but I don't know if I would own a snake. Mostly because I feel like eventually it might get out. And I don't know if I could take that pressure of having a snake in my house like that.
That's why you just get the non-poisonous ones, man.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll just get a giant one that can still choke me to death, even though it's not poisonous.
No, I get why people wouldn't want snakes. I guess because I grew up around them at a younger age. That's
Texas for you.
Yeah,
all you got is snakes.
See, but now I still don't understand why people keep pet tarantulas or scorpions or stuff like that. Or I guess I haven't really seen a pet scorpion, but for whatever reason, there's a crowd that keeps pet tarantulas.
Yeah,
as pets.
Which I can say at least one thing: you can squish a tarantula. You really can't squish a snake.
Yeah, I guess so. Tarantulas, though, man.
I mean, I wouldn't own a tarantula. I'd probably own a snake before a tarantula, 100%.
So, a little fun side story about Dylan Deluxe's childhood here. So, when I was 4, my mom used to pick me up from daycare, and every day she'd pick me up from this daycare. I'd get in the car, and if she had a drink in the center console, I would take the drink and I would take a sip from it. Just me being a greedy little 4-year-old bastard, oh, free drink, I'm gonna take a sip. So my mom's boss had a pet tarantula at his house or his office. It was at his office, and so he gave the exoskeleton of the pet tarantula to my mom. And my mom put it in the cup before she picked me up. So 4-year-old Dylan gets in the car in the back seat, sees the styrofoam cup in the center console, and he's like, "Oh hell yeah!" And so like I reach up to grab this cup, and I just like tip it back like bottoms up, and as soon as I tip it back, this like exoskeleton's tarantula just drops on my face, and I have been fucked in the head and terrified of spiders ever since.
I'm pretty sure this is like a multiverse Spider-Man origin story right here.
Yeah.
Like Tarantula Man.
Yeah. And then my mom has the audacity to get mad at me now whenever like I play pranks on her when I see her, like to scare her. And I'm like, you remember what you did to a 4-year-old child?
Well, I mean, who just drinks random cups? Like, who sees a cup and is like, I'm gonna drink whatever is in that?
Fucking 4-year-olds.
Like that's exactly how you end up drinking like dip cups or like sour, like piss in a bottle.
You know what? I've been there and done that. Oh, dude.
Oh man.
So
God.
in high school, I might have been under the influence a little bit. I was a little high, and I reached in the fucking fridge to what I thought was a carton of milk, and it was a carton of sour, or is it sour cream? No, not sour cream. Oh, what the
Cream
fuck?
cheese.
Yes.
Oh.
And I just took a big ass gulp and fucking threw up.
How runny is your cream cheese?
Okay,
that you can gulp it.
No. Okay, it's not cream cheese. It's some type of cream. You know what? Let me look this up.
Like creamer. Like you put in
it
coffee.
It wasn't sweet. This is gonna fucking.
Because like I can just imagine you banging on a milk jug, like fall out so I can drink you with cream cheese.
Oh god damn. No, it tastes. Oh god. Man, see now I sound like a retard. You know, sorry. I don't mean to use that. I don't mean to use that or that word. I really
Well,
try
there
to
goes that's the end of Downtime with Dylan, guys.
Yeah,
we are now going to be canceled.
Oh god. No, I apologize. I am trying to actively get away from using that word on a 100% serious note. But it's like pasteurized cream. Like it comes in like a carton, like almost like one of those like milk cartons you get in school.
Oh, like cream of milk, not cream of milk. Like you use for like making pies and stuff. Oh god, what is it called? Great. Now I want to know what it is.
Yeah, I can't remember it. But anyways, yes, I took a big I had a bad habit of like grabbing that stuff and just bottoms up.
If it's liquid, I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next question. We got Tubby Tim, 69. He says Philadelphia Liberty has just turned into a game of Big Brother. You make an alliance. You can make an alliance with 2 people. Who are they?
Oh well, obviously it's you.
So this might be a dumb question. How does Big Brother work?
I think it's like Survivor, but they don't play any games.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
So it's like Survivor, where you vote people off, but you don't do like any fun like puzzle stuff.
I'm going you and Fuzzy. That's my picks.
Ooh. Look, we gotta think like if we're doing an alliance, right? You gotta big brain this. I'm thinking us 2 and Slim, just because Slim's a smart dude. Like Slim
Slim's
will know.
Cutthroat though, dude. Slim will have no.
He would backstab us at all. He would backstab. Maybe Numbers then. No, because then we get the anti-numbers club going against us. Man, that's.
But I'm saying nobody hates Fuzzy.
Yeah, Fuzzy would be good. I'm thinking Fuzzy, he would be like low enough down, like people wouldn't fight after Fuzzy because they'd be too busy fighting each other. And he'd just stick to the finale.
Yeah.
That might be a good one.
He says, who would you target for the first eviction? Jake.
Jake. Yeah. Yeah, Jake's gone first. Like that's not even a vote. Like we're not gonna talk to him. He's being sectioned out. He's gone.
Don't even unpack your bags, Jake.
Yeah, like you're gone, Jake. Like you're going to Chicago. You're going to that Big Brother.
Yeah. Who do you think would win?
Slim.
Yeah, probably Slim. That is just fucking ruthless. Cats or dogs?
Slim would not.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like Slim would drag Ford along because they're obviously GMs together, so they're gonna be together to the finale, and then you would just stab Ford in the back at the end of it.
Yeah, for sure. Tubby Tim's last question: cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Yeah,
I'm definitely a dog guy.
You've all seen Molly.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I like cats, but
Molly
yeah.
is like the mascot for SA team.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on. We got Baron, 1898. How do you think the NSFL playoffs will go? Rays are going to lose in the conference finals.
Yep.
No,
first round. I feel like they're going to lose in the
well, they get the bye.
Their first game.
They get the bye.
They do. They can lose on the bye.
Yeah.
Big Red stepping down on the bye week. They're going to lose on the bye.
Yeah, they're going to get upset by whoever wins the other playoff game. And then, who is it? I think it's, I'm dumb. What, Colorado and, let's see here. In Austin. No, not Austin.
Yeah.
That's the other. No,
Baltimore.
See, I don't know, man, because Baltimore's also like an equally disappointing team. Like,
so was Colorado. These are those three like least clutch teams in the history of the NSFL going at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see the Hawks making it to the championship against OCO.
Yeah,
and I think OCO is just gonna win it again.
Yeah, OCO is just gonna powerhouse over everybody. They might have a good game with Zona. That might be like a good competitive matchup. Austin's gonna get destroyed. I'm sorry, Austin fans that are listening to this. Austin is just gonna get destroyed in the playoffs.
I agree. His next question is: how long do you plan on keeping your players around? Will you retire when regression hits, or will you stick it out to the end? Me personally, I'll probably. I feel like I can be a max earner like I am now for a pretty good long while. So I'll probably try to keep Thud around to the bitter end. I'm really shooting for that tackles record just because.
Ooh.
Maybe not. I know it might be hard to get number one with the games being short in one, or the seasons being short in one game, but I'll probably keep Thud around until he's like regresses down into like the 250s, like up from like 1,000. So.
DSFL basically.
Yeah, Thud will be he'll be on the field with like a walking cane.
I'll probably run it. I'm not gonna retire when regression hits, but it'll probably get to one of those how much am I enjoying it kind of thing. You know, like if I'm fighting regression every season and I'm not getting, and the games are just kind of like I'm not getting those big stats anymore, and the team's not winning, or I'm not helping the team, that'll probably be like I'll walk away and start new.
Yeah.
But I obviously want to run it as long as I can. The defensive end is one of those positions you can basically run until your player dies as we carted off the field.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be one of those where it's like, well, I'm only like a 60 speed now, but I'm still getting 5 sacks a season, so I'm just going to keep pushing on for 12 more years. If it's getting to the point where I'm obviously not earning as much as my teammates, and I'm just taking up cap space in a roster spot, then I'll probably step away and start new.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if I ever get to the point where I think linebacker or thuds, I'm not having fun with it, I'll retire, like, no hesitation if I'm not having fun with it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just kind of want to be I really just want to get on the top 5 list for tackles, so, yeah. All right, his next question is, for Hall, why do you suck at werewolf?
All right, Baron. I know we have this little thing going on right now, and I just want to clear the room. The foreign game sucked. Everyone knows it. Everyone has accepted it. You keep being mad at me because I decided to kill 3 people, myself included, and I'm just saying it made the game end faster, so you're welcome. I'm actually good at werewolf because no one else wanted the game to end, so I finished the game. And also, I got a trophy in my second game, so obviously I don't suck at werewolf because I do have a trophy next to my name, which obviously means I'm great at the game.
I've never played, so I have not a fucking clue.
So basically what happened, instead of doing Discord like we normally do, we decided to do forum games. It was completely anonymous. I forgot about it for like 3 days. So they were on, I think it was the end of day 3, I was reminded about it. So at this point I had said nothing. I was surprised I was still alive. So I was like, well, forget it. They're probably going to vote me off or I'm going to get killed because I haven't said anything. So day 5 gets there. I still haven't said anything. Still haven't been voted off. So I was like, well, I'm the hunter. I'm just going to kill somebody that hasn't revealed. And someone that said, I'm not revealing yet. And I was like, it's day 5. Why aren't you revealing? So I killed them. Well, apparently, from what I got, that was Waz, who was good. And it was helping the town. So next day comes along. I still haven't said a word because I'm like, dude, I don't want to be in it because I haven't helped. I haven't been paying attention. So the next day, I kill somebody else, which I believe was Baron, which it might not have been. Might have been another good, but it was a good person. and it ended up killing me also. So I had killed 3 good people in the span of 2 days without saying a single word, and that made Baron very upset.
That's funny. His last question is, who do you think will go high in the season 19 NSFL draft? Casey Dream. Just
Yeah.
keep it pushing. I think we kind of covered that already earlier.
Noka, definitely Noka.
Yeah, Noka. Yeah, for sure.
He's been a high earning for almost 2 full seasons now, because he was a waiver pickup, and he was kind of earning. Like, he was a weird, like, he was one of the early S19. I think he was the first S19 actually.
He was, because we adopted him into season 18.
Yeah, we adopted him. So I mean, he's been earning for basically a season and a half all completely, and he's been dominating. I mean, I know he's a tight end, which is a guaranteed future defensive end, the way the league goes now. So he's definitely. I think he's going to be probably a first pick, just because if he's willing to change positions, I can see Nola picking him first, just because he can play wherever, and he's the highest earner in this draft right now.
Oh, he's a phenomenal media or graphics maker too.
Oh yeah, and he's in all of the Discords, basically talking to everybody all the time. So I think everybody's met him and talked to him and basically loves him.
Yeah. All right. Now we got Bacon Brother, aka Mertzy. Mertzy says, "Do you see Hall? Oh wow. Do you see Hall and DD GM duo happening in the future, and why would it be Austin? And if not, why so?"
It could definitely happen one day. I don't know if it's going to be DSFL or NSFL, but it's definitely going to happen eventually, and it's going to be the best duo, because who wouldn't want to play for us? Like, that's kind
obviously.
I mean, yeah. Like, if we're NSFL, we can get free agents. We would get all the best free agents.
Yeah, and then I know a lot of people are going to make the connection of, oh, I just got traded to Philadelphia, and then Hall was already like in line, blah 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 blah. So obviously DD is going to be the co or whatever. That I don't think that's going to happen. I don't want to like. I didn't have the intention of coming into Philadelphia with like taking over for like all the people that have already been there, like all the other S18 rookies that have already established themselves. Like, I just want to get integrated with the team culture first, integrated with the locker room, the war room, and everything. Before I would even begin to think about stuff like that. So I don't think I'll be taking over any type of GM job in Philly in any time in the near future. And I'm really just kind of focused on Tijuana as far as GM-wise stuff goes. So not anytime soon, but I mean, who knows? I mean, some of these guys have been here since season 1, and there's no telling when the opportunity might come for us to team up in GM, and I would not be opposed to it at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would love to GM with DD. I mean, we've been basically talking about how we're going to build our own team and run our team together since we were Prospect Bowl days.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of what we've always been, is like we wanted to be together. Even just as players, we're happy with it. But if a new expansion team comes in and they need 2 GMs, there's no telling. Maybe we take it over, maybe we don't. Maybe Philly does end up falling into our lap 2-3 seasons down the road. Like, there's no telling where the future's going to go, especially in this league where there's so much turnover.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw just how much turnover there was last year. It felt like 8 out of the 10 teams had GM changes.
Exactly.
All right, his second question is, Hall, what is the secret sauce behind your memes, and how do you get them out so quick?
The biggest thing is it's you guys. I mean, it's everybody in the chat. Like, I don't just come out of the blue and just kind of throw a meme out there. Like, I just kind of watch the chat and read where it's going, and if I see something of like, oh, I should make a meme out of that, and then I kind of just look at like what would be the best meme template to run with that, and I just kind of run with it. I mean, I use the same app that I use to make all my graphics. That's kind of how I've gotten where I've gotten now with graphics. Is I was making so many memes that I learned how to do new tricks on my graphics app. So it went from me making joke stuff to me making like serious SIGs and things. So I mean, you guys letting me make memes has made me a good graphic artist, basically.
Okay.
So that's kind of my magic. It's you guys. It's your guys' jokes, your guys' conversations. I mean, I love Mertzy to death. He's my little Finnish boy. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say that because now I sound like Jake. But
wow, you fucking diddler.
I mean, but I mean, like Mertzy's the best, because Mertzy will come in out of the blue with some random Finnish facts, and it's just like, that's perfect meme material right there. Like, that's just the way it is.
All right, his last question is for me. He says, Didi, Other than knock out my internet, what other ways will you sabotage me to make sure I'm not the top SAT and TPE earner? Oh man, I've been thinking about this for a long time. Man, it's all across my mind. If you ever start streaming, I might swat you, you know. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. Something's going to happen where you're not going to be able to do some... You know, actually, I have the perfect plan. I'm going to take over the PT team. And I'm going to make sure I post PTs in the most inconvenient times for Finnish people.
And the predictions. Say the predictions team. That'll get them.
Yeah. I want to make sure it's like... I want you to have like just entered your REM cycle of sleeping when I drop the predictions, like right before the games.
I got a better idea for you. You gotta become commissioner, and you have to ban the website for Finland.
Just make it accessible.
Like any IP address coming from Finland is banned.
Only until I get past them, and then after that we can bring them back.
Yeah, there we go.
So, yeah, oh man. You're gonna slip up one of these days, though, buddy, and I'm gonna be there waiting for you.
He won't. It's because he's awake when everyone else is asleep, so he's got no one to stop him, and you know, he's not occupied by being on Discord because everyone's asleep, so he can just get TPE all day.
Oh man. Yeah, one of my biggest regrets was not doing the Ultimus week whenever I first came in, just because I didn't know enough about the league.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm gonna catch you one of these days, though, man. Don't you worry. Even if it's just you retire before I retire. By default, I'll
still pass him.
All right. We're on to our very last question. I'm going to let you answer this one first. Why is Tijuana so damn awesome?
All right, so I think he had a typo in there. I think it was supposed to read, "Why is Myrtle Beach so damn awesome?" I understand Peyton. He's been in the DSFL for a few years now. He's getting older. I know his brain's not as good as it once was when he was a young kid.
He got called up, actually.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he actually starts on New Orleans' offensive line.
Did he get called up at the beginning of the season? Or like during the season?
No.
Oh.
He's been playing for them since game one.
I don't pay attention to Tijuana, as you can tell. But, I mean, is Tijuana really awesome? Like, they got the cartel and stuff like that there, you know?
Ultra minis.
Yeah, minis, as you can see. You have minis, all right?
Mini Ultra minis.
Myrtle Beach wins Ultra Majors, all right? That's why we don't have trophies, because they're too big for the forums, obviously.
Is that what we're calling the toilet bowl these days?
Oh yeah, hey, we even lost that this year. So, but we beat San Antonio twice, and San Antonio wanted to be a sleeper team, and so if anything, let's make fun of San Antonio from now on, guys. How about that?
I agree. I concur with that. But nah, dude, Tijuana's just the fucking best. It's plain and simple. There's no other argument.
Racist. It's a racist name.
Hey.
And
we come across the border and we take no prisoners.
Luchadores.
Hey, man. Goddamn right.
Should have just been called the Mexican wrestlers.
All right, and with that is going to wrap up the podcast, guys. We will see you on the next one, or at least I will. All right, good night, folks.